God gives wisdom for leadership, and He gives glory for wisdom and mercy for the afflicted. And He also gives strength to the church. Welcome to day 102 of the 180-day Bible journey. Hi, today we are called to seek God's wisdom. We are called to honor God's presence and also to cry out in faith whenever there is an affliction. And we are enjoined to guard what God entrusts to us. As we look at the second book in Chronicles, we are looking at 2 Chronicles. We're starting from chapter 1 today. Solomon was established as the king, and he thereafter sacrificed 1,000 offerings on Mount Gibeon. He triggered a divine response from God, and God, showed up and asked him what he wanted. And he asked that God should give him wisdom to lead his people. And God added wealth and riches also to that request. And later on, we saw that he had military power. 1,400 chariots, 12,000 soldiers, and many that are at his beck and call. Wisdom is the foundation of any effective leadership. In 2 Chronicles chapter 2, Solomon prepared to build the temple of God. He had resources, he had men and leaders that are working for him. He requested help from Hiram, the king of Tyre, who had a very skillful builder in the person of Hiram. And when Hiram came, Solomon also made use of about over 150,000 aliens that were at Israel at that time to complete the building. Great assignments such as the temple requires a lot of collaboration, skills, and also structure. In 2 Chronicles chapter 3, Solomon built the temple on Mount Moriah. He used gold, overlays, carvings, the veil, the pillars, the reeds, a lot of things that he used. God's house requires excellence. It also requires reverence. In 2 Chronicles chapter 4, we see here the furnishings of the temple. The sea bronze of 12 oxen, lavers, the 10 lampstands, the priest court, the altar of gold, the doors to the Most High, the hall. Worshipping God requires a lot of preparation and a lot of work. In 2 Chronicles chapter 5, the temple was completed, and Solomon and the elders and the Levites, they brought the ark from the city of David into the temple. And while you have about 120 priests and the musicians all in one accord, declaring that the Lord is good and his mercies endure forever, as they were worshiping the Lord in that atmosphere, the glory of God filled the temple. Meaning, when there is unity in worship, it always results in God's presence being made manifest, which is what God's glory is all about. How are we worshiping God? Are we worshiping God in unity? Are we worshiping God in one accord? The more we do that, the more we'll see the glory of God being manifest in our worship. As we move into the book of Psalms 102, there was the cry of the afflicted soul, whose days are consumed like smoke, and whose bones are burnt. Their heart is smitten, and the enemy reproaches daily. But God is the one who will have mercy on Zion. He will not despise their prayer, and he will release those that have been appointed unto death. God will always respond to the cry of the afflicted, and he will always restore our hope. In what ways have we been afflicted? In what ways do we see the enemy reproaching us and mocking us? God is about to show up on our behalf. In Jesus' name. In the New Testament, in Acts chapter 20, we see Apostle Paul continue ministering from Macedonia to Greece and also to Syria. He also ministered in Troas, where, he revived a young man that fell from the third floor. And Paul went on to mention the persecution and the hardship that awaits him even in Jerusalem. And then he also declares that we need all as believers to persevere and to finish what God has committed and entrusted to our hands. Paul later testified of his legacy among the brethren, talking about his faith, his loyalty, and his commitment to the gospel. Leaders must guard the flock and also remain anchored in grace. As we continue in this 180-day journey, we'll see the continual and everyday commitment to the things of God, to the ways of God, to the thoughts of God, and to the wisdom of God. That'll be our portion in Jesus' name. And that brings us to our memory verse today in Acts chapter 20, verse 32. So now, brethren, I commend you to God and to the word of his grace, which is able to build you up and give you an inheritance among all those who are sanctified. I believe as we continue in this 180 day, the grace and the word of his grace will continually uphold us. It will build us up. It will make us to be a partaker of everything that the Lord has already reserved for us. In Jesus' name. Thank you. My name is Alan Olonshola, and I long to see you tomorrow again. Thank you, and we'll see you. God bless you.